High Plains Technology Center, turning education and training into workplace success.
Oh, back to school, to prove to Dad that I'm not a fool.
High Plains Technology Center, education at the speed of business. School is now in session.
Welcome back, Volume 2. That means that school is way upon us. You know, the cold weather I said last week. Here we are in homecoming week for two of our sending schools, Woodward as well as Moreland. So that means I've got two guests today. We always have to start off the show with Barkley for some reason, and then it gets just better after that, really more than anything. So I will let my two guests kind of introduce themselves.
I'm Jennifer Dew, Director of Daytime Programs.
And Don Gaines, Assistant Superintendent.
So the beauty is this is where the meat and potatoes really hits the road. This is the doers, not the talkers when it comes to things. And you can understand us a little bit better when it comes across the radio waves. But and we have more of a television faces than he does too,
For sure. I think maybe that's the only reason we put him on the radio, because he's more of the radio view.
Jennifer's just being quiet. She's like, "What do you got?"
I'm out.
Hey, just so you guys know, it's just all out of love at our school, and that's what we love about it more than anything. But I wanted to bring these two on and they're going to talk about really what's going on the daytime side. Of course, Don has incorporated a little bit of everything now that I've had a little bit of my departure, and Don has kind of taken on more roles, and I've have my staff and myself. But really, the meat and potatoes as well with this when it talks about the daytime side. And just explain a little bit about how many programs we have, what's been going on this summer. Don can probably speak to that a little bit more, and how we're expanding, I guess, as well, and growing.
Yeah, I think I've said this before, it's funny, when I wasn't always in education and coming into education, everybody's like, well, what do you guys do during the summer? You just kind of take some time off. And I'll tell you what I learned really quickly, that you take those 2 months to get ready for the next 10 months. And especially at High Plains, we're always trying to build it and make it better and retool it and get ready for the kids. I would tell you, in just complete honesty, by the end of the year last year, we were kind of ready to get rid of everybody. And so it was nice to do that. And then, but, come August 1st, we were ready for everybody to be back and ready to, get geared up for the students. And so that's what we did. And we prepared. And, there's a lot of things going on this year. We added 3 new full-time programs in Beaver County we're excited about. The Health Careers is in Beaver. We've got a business and marketing in Beaver. We've got a welding and construction class in Turpin to go along with those TAP programs that are all throughout all 4 schools in Beaver County. We are, if you've driven by the Tech Center, we've started construction on a new building. It's going to be a brand new welding shop, a construction shop, and then it's also going to be a brand new diesel shop. And so that'll free up our existing diesel shop to offer some new programs, which we'll be talking about hopefully in the coming months. But, we're excited. We're really, we've kicked off now and going 100 miles an hour.
And it's funny because both of you, as I'm sitting here doing math or thought process, both of you originally were 10-month contracts and having to adjust to the 12-month contracts, right?
Yes.
Because I remember, Jennifer, at first you're like, I don't know if I want to do this because of that aspect more than anything. But you really realize real fast what happens in those 2 months, isn't it?
A lot of work goes into those 2 months.
No question. So now is kind of the time, I know we have a lot of student organizations. We'll get teachers on later on with that. But explain a little bit about that and when that process kind of starts right now, Jen.
Well, right now I call September our interview month. All of our career tech student organizations, which we call CTSOs, which are BPA, DECA, Skills USA, HOSA, they're in the process of choosing their officers. So they like to include admin and other staff in on those interviews. So I love it because you get to know the students and which I miss. I miss getting to know the students.
Yeah, no question. I now that I'm in another building, I have a lot of misses. Honestly, I know. It's really at times. I have to find a reason to drive that 0.2. I figured it out how far away I am. Do you know how far away I am?
No, I don't.
I'm 0.2 miles, and the only reason I knew that is because of looking up my daughter's location. and it said 0.2 miles away.
wow.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So, but I do have to find a reason to come up there because it is, and that's the aspect you really when it comes to that August and September time is getting to know the new students, getting to see the old students, and getting everything our feet kind of set. But here we are in the middle of September. Everybody's kind of rocking and rolling right now, though, as well.
Yes.
Superintendent's leadership's another one that we do. Again, we don't just do that just because that is part of the plan. The leadership aspect of building good people and building good workers at some point. And so, again, yes, we're going to teach them a skill when they're at High Plains, but we're also going to teach them how to be able to talk to somebody, how to look somebody in the eye, how to shake their hand, and give them feedback on those interviews. It's not just to come in, it was nice to meet you, and that's it. That we give them feedback on, hey, look us in the eye, shake our hands, introduce yourself, do those things. And again, I can tell you time and time again where I've gone in front of a business or in front of a legislator, and they said, man, that's a handshake. Where'd you learn that? Or, man, that kid really could talk to you.
Last
that's
week,
awesome.
with
It
happened. You and I were in there together.
Yep.
We're in the WIN class with a student that did that to legislator, and the legislator was not from around here,
Right.
and actually point blank asked him, did he not?
He absolutely said. He said, "Where'd you learn that handshake?" And he said, "Well, my dad, and really tap." And when it started there, and then carried into that student was in the carpentry class, and did some leadership things in there, and now he's in the WIN program, and in a few months he'll be out working.
No question. And that's the discussion we always have. And, we talk about things. If it doesn't start early, it's hard. And that's what you have to appreciate about TAP with all our sending schools is being able to start early, get that guidance, get that direction, and know that you care and know that you matter, and that's a lot of it as well. So Jen has actually notes with things.
I do.
I know.
I do have notes.
Dawn and I.
I've got my long list. It's over here. Let me look through that.
Yeah, whatever.
Exactly. So Jen, I want to make sure to hit your notes because I want to be cognizant of that. So what else is on there that you want to talk
on my
about?
list here, I have the Survivor Tree rededication.
Okay, all
So
right.
you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah.
Kind of.
The great thing about what we get to do is right before we get together is we have a kind of a staff development, and we went to Oklahoma City this year with our entire staff, and we went to the Memorial Museum, and it was we had everybody that had been there a bunch of times, a 30-year anniversary. We had people that hadn't been there before and had forgotten about it. And we got to do, the things that we had never done before, even myself with
they've got
things.
kind of the STEM lab in there. And,
Yes.
and again, I would tell you, being from Texas, I'm not connected. I don't have that same connection that a lot of you guys have that, you knew exactly where you were.
Yeah, because they're a little slower in Texas.
Yeah, we don't pay attention to Oklahoma, but I do now. But anyway, I found myself just caught up in it, and I was internally telling myself to keep it together because it was tough. But what an incredible experience.
And so when we got to talking to them about setting it up, they were talking, and we said, hey, we have a survivor tree. Well, lo and behold, they are going to every county, and they're going to do a rededication on our campus next Tuesday if everybody wants to come out there at noon. And there's a history there with our tree. Eddie Briggs was working on our campus, 30 years ago. 30 years ago, I was a young man, not really paying attention on Oklahoma State University campus, but and then all of a sudden, he was looking up there and he goes, "That's my daughter's dress on TV." And they go, "How do you know?" And he goes, "Because my wife made it for him." So the entire Briggs family is going to be there to do a rededication. They're going to be an arborist, and they're going to look at the tree. They're going to see what is healthy and take some of those things and talk about it. They're also going to have a survivor there as well, talk about their story, which hold on to your socks because it is emotional. That video, even though I'd seen it probably for the fourth time in August, was very emotional, still is. And it's just a cool story. And the cool thing is they're going to go to the high school afterwards, Woodward High School, and they're going to plant another tree. So there'll actually be two in Woodward, Oklahoma, believe it or not. And ours is thriving.
Yes.
It's a great shade tree.
The lady that is kind of helping with this says, "Hey, will you take pictures?" She hasn't sent anything back. We haven't seen an arborist on campus yet, so
Right.
it might be, because it is the best shade tree in the
for
world.
sure.
So it'll be neat. So everybody wants to come out there at 1. Noon. See,
There's my
They're
notes.
going to the high school at 1. There's the notes taken over. It'll be neat and just kind of talk and hopefully I don't know who in the Briggs family will show up, but just how impactful it is to know that we have one on campus, and it probably touches home with the remainder of our staff now, especially as well.
absolutely.
So yeah. All right. What else do you have there, Jen?
Open house.
Okay. When is open house?
It is the 17th, which is a Wednesday, 5:30 to 6:30. So come on out and see what your students are up to.
That was Barrett Arthur Storm's birthday, so that'll be easy for me to remember my little brother's birthday. So yeah, and the cool thing is with other schools do the meet the teacher, but this is really a little bit of a different aspect, correct?
Yes, they'll go to the programs from 5:30 to 6, and then we'll ask everybody to come to the seminar center and visit with our counselor from 6 to 6:30, and then you'll be released.
I get to do this now as a parent now that
Oh,
I'm
you
sitting
get
here
to be
thinking
on the other
about
side.
it. Yes, the other side, which is awesome that I have a first child at the school. So, all right, what else you got going on there?
Oh, yeah, we have Chad Cargill coming on the 29th, College Fair on the 30th, and then Life Happens, which I think you're going to cover
Yes,
later on.
Life Happens. I'm going to have Darla and Vonda on next week to talk about that. And folks, this is one more added benefit that we do at the school because, everybody talks about a piece of things that we don't get to do, so I don't want to touch on it much. But this is something that should be taught everywhere.
Yes.
Everybody should get to do it.
Is this the third or fourth year, Don?
Fourth or fifth, I think.
And we-
Because Andrus started it way back when with Darla's help as well. So, golly.
And
Well, and I think the cool thing we do with it is involving the community and then the kids being able to connect, different careers and different things that they're going to end up doing after they get out of high school with those community members right here in our area. So.
And I know they were going through some of the feedback from the students today, and I think they've got some surprises for this year, too. Last year, we added the Highway Patrol, who
Yes.
was giving out tickets.
That was
a big
fun.
hit.
I know it was actually really fun, and because I'm just going to tell you, youngsters, if you get pulled over, you're going to get a ticket.
Unless you're my husband.
Yeah, and I know. Well, he's old. That's
True,
the thing.
that's it.
I said youngsters.
You did.
Yes, he's even older than I am. So, all right, we have anything else going on?
No, we've just got some students that are getting ready to run for state office, so we're going to do mock interviews with them.
And we'll talk about that. That's the thing that I enjoy that we do out there as well, and we've created a little bit of a position to help out with that. Because it is a lot. It was a lot on your
work.
shoulders, correct?
It's a lot of work.
And enabling them to do that and get them prepared. And even if these people don't win, these students don't win, you talk about the lesson that they're learning
It is a win
with
for
this.
them.
It's a win.
Yep, absolutely.
Just like I still say, looking someone in the eye, talking to them, and having a great attitude, you're already ahead of so many of your peers out there.
Absolutely. Knowing how to work.
Yes. Yep. All right. Any little bit of pieces of anything else going on, or?
No, I just would echo that. I mean, the state officers again is such a big deal because they are representing the state of Oklahoma, and so it's not. I wish we could see against some of the bigger schools and the bigger areas around Oklahoma the comparison of how many state officers and things like that we have come from Northwest Oklahoma. I would put our numbers up against anybody. Our kid, and that again attributes to our kids, the families we have here, the businesses we have here, the education that we have here in Northwest Oklahoma is one of a kind.
And I agree. It's our schools and our parents and our community that really raise these kids up the right way. And I agree with you. I say all the time, we're special out here. We rely on ourselves.
When people tell you you're special, Taylor, there's a different meaning, especially when it's from your wife.
You're so correct. That's usually yelled at more than it is
You're
telling
special.
you. Yes. So, anything else to part with, Jen, as we go on?
No, I think
Okay.
we have a lot of short-term classes kicking off tonight, don't we?
We do. They'll be kicking off this week, and they'll go on. They're ever changing, and that's my plan to get someone on there with that as well. But but next semester will even be something completely new, also. But
Check out social media, the
Yes.
website, and all kinds of different things. If you have an idea, please reach out and give us a call, and we're always open to try anything once.
Yep. All right. Well, everybody have a great week, and we will see you all next week.
See ya.